Sweet, thank you. What's up, y'all? So we got over there, we got over here, we got up there, we got all the people. All right, let's see what's going on. Actually, oh, I'm so scared of this, but I want it, and I need it, and I think I might have to have it. I don't know. Hey, what's up, Flatline? Oh, wait, are you guys there? I think they were just asking us to invite him. I was talking to the Flatline company the other day on TikTok and we were emailing. If you guys are down there, respond to my email. Hey, who said open it? Toolcraft organizers, open it. Open what? I'm gonna tap on you. How's it going? Oh, yeah, nice. I'm gonna fall. What's up? I'm gonna see who you are. Actually, wait. Can I bring in, hey, Toolcraft organizers, hang on a second here. I'm going to try to invite you as a guest because I don't even know how this will go. I'm just going to do it just because I can. Let's see if you, sent you an invite. If you pop up here, let's chat. I don't care. Yeah. Let's see what's going down. Okay. And then YouTube stream is going. Nice. Man, why is this YouTube stream so dadgum slow? Interesting. Hey, what's up, Pedrito? How's it going? And then over here, are you planning to expand? We got Instagrams, plans to expand to the Indian market. We're in the Indian market right now. We can, we ship parts there like that already. Let's see, who else is around? 1 second. Oh, sweet, Toolcraft organizers. It's coming up. Nobody else is going to be able to see it. This is going to be fun. Live chatting with folks. I haven't done that one before since we started doing all these things. Oh my goodness, there are so many, so many. Like TikTok has like this continuous stream of stuff all the time. It's so funny to watch. YouTube folks, I don't know what's up over there. I don't know why it's so slow. Gulohang, what's up, man? How's it going? What do you do? Where are you coming from? I'll get people all over the place. Oh, sweet, you can. Okay, I can bring everybody in except on YouTube where people can't do it. Okay, let's see. Who else is around? YouTube folks coming along. That's just laggy as a son of a gun. Wow. What is the, let me do this. Slower than the recommended bit, uses stream bit rate of 68 kilobits per second. Stream is good, but the stream quality is garbage. Weird. Yeah. What's up? Folks on YouTube, what do you got? Anybody else have questions about running a print farm or anything else? How to handle seams in our prints. Put them at the rear or use aligned. Those are the two things that matter and that you should be doing. Those are the tricks to getting a good 3D print. It's almost 1 a.m. That's fair. It is quite late. You should probably stop doom scrolling wherever you are. Well, we're going to start trying to do these streams at different times. Right now, it's lunch hour here where we are over in the Boise area. So I'm just trying to see, we're trying to figure out how to get this done. We may end up moving stuff to a different time. Because, yeah, the point of these streams is to help folks out with teleport, answer any questions around the print farm, and just hang out and chat with y'all. For anybody who's new or doesn't know about it, like teleport is our print-on-demand service. So you can like plug it into your Etsy store, and when you get an order, we will print it and ship it for you. And that gives you the ability to have 1,000 3D printers in the United States. So if you're an international store, you don't have international shipping. If you're a local store, you get 1,000 3D printers. So you can scale up and not have to worry about all the operations. Okay. What's up, 3D Logic Prints? Okay. How's everybody else doing there? The audio is good, but the video lags. We're here for the convo during the lunch. What's up, Rip? Yeah, I see that the video is like garbage right now. I don't know why. Here's a funny thing. What if, it would be hilarious if I can jack into the stream from my laptop and it's better than our wired computer. How do you handle HVAC in such a large facility when the temperature swing could be plus or minus 5 degrees of your point? We have a thermal control system that works. Yeah, we just keep control of the temperature all the time. So our HVAC system is good. So it does what it needs to do. That's pretty much how we deal with that. It's good for me. Oh yeah, everybody over here on Instagram and on TikTok is all doing fine because we've got it all. But let's see, what's all this stuff? We got people over there. Who else is around? I don't know. Wow, there's like I'm gonna mess with buttons on stuff here because I want to just see what I can do. They're like, give gifts, do this stuff, say likes, all this stuff. Yeah, oh my gosh, so many things. Can I do this? What happens if I do that? Interesting. I'm just pushing all the random controllers that they allow over here. Ooh, effects. I'm gonna, yeah, give me a glam shimmer. That's the first thing. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go for mustache. Well, hello. You don't have that on Instagram. I've got well, that's not gonna be any good. But on TikTok, I'm looking very Persian right now. Let's see. How about I do this? That's probably a terrible idea. No one would recognize me. It is like there's sort of a genre of stuff that needs to be done. I'm gonna hit all the filters. I'm gonna use all the filters. Example of code to motion. Example of success functional prints. So one of the best functional prints that I've ever seen. Probably one of the best functional prints I've ever seen. There was a period of time where we had a customer who was linked to us via the API, and they printed custom casts. And they would send us the file, we would print it out, and then we would ship it straight to their customer forum. And there was all of this, it was just a really good use because a doctor would scan the arm of a kid or a person, and then they would go ahead and generate a cast for that person. And the cast would automatically generate based off those scans, and it would be delivered to the doctor as a stabilizing feature, which was a really cool use of stuff. So I thought that was a great use of everything. And it was a great functional print because they could swim with it. It was better than regular casts. It cost the same or cheaper. Like all of it was just fine. So yeah, that's one of the great examples of a really good functional print. Outside of that, I think the best functional prints that I have seen have been like in our factory. Really good solutions around that stuff. Okay, so that only mildly changes my face, which I guess is a good thing. Let's do this. What does this do? There's all these. Well, that's. Oh goodness. Yeah, not going for that one. And if I go for girl, no, not going for girl. Probably not the right one. Give me a glam shit. Whoa. Okay. That was a decision. Yeah, I probably shouldn't do that on TikTok. I want to. I want to use all the filters because I kind of enjoy it and it's fun. But probably not good for the stream. All right, Instagram. What do you guys got? What do you guys want to go over? Let's see what you have. It's one frame for 1 second. I see that in the YouTube. I don't know why, guys. Nothing's changed since yesterday. Literally all of our devices. What could it be? Actually, let me do, oh, it's possible that the computer itself is lagging that badly. Oh, I hope it's not on Wi-Fi. I hope that's not one of the options. I hope we're actually wired in. Let me be back in just a second, guys. I'll be back in just 1 minute. Make sure all of our stuff, yep. No, the networking's fine. Maybe it was trying to use Wi-Fi. YouTube, if any of you guys ever spot it getting better, let me know. Lumbra, I'm glad the audio is working for you. I do not know why the video is such hot garbage. Okay. But yeah, throw up your questions and we can run through those. We're working right now. Today was a sales day for me. So the things I've been doing before I was here, I was on phone calls with people. I've been running through folks, checking in on teleport users, checking in on customers and production clients, calling up people. It's fun. It's not something I used to enjoy. It's been more fun in recent years and months and that kind of thing because I can run through it. The worst thing about it is if there's not enough people to call. If you don't have a list of like 50 to 100 people that you can just run through, then it's terrible because like each one feels really, really important to get just right. But I think I've gotten about 10 calls done today in this morning, and most of them were going for like 15 minutes. So any of the sales guys out there who are going to rip on me, go ahead. Don't worry. I'm getting it done. It's just as long on the call. I'm not dialing and just burning through people every minute. But yeah, we're getting the calls up. Working, so listening works. Cool. I'm glad that the YouTube video stream has good audio. I work for a manufacturing company and we design most machines in-house. Here we print a lot of small parts for our machines as well as small covers and accessories to make things easier to grab hold. Hey Rip, here's a question. Like, do you guys ever hit a bottleneck with your internal printers? Because you guys, your manufacturing company, you design most machines in-house, so it's like handles and grips and guards and that kind of stuff are the things that you're making, I assume. That's cool. If you guys need help scaling up, what we could do is you could take all those parts that you need on a recurring basis that like either break or need replaced, and we could set you up with a Portals account so that you have a QR code on each one of the parts. And then when one of them breaks, you just scan that QR code and order a new one, and it'll show up a couple days later. So that could be useful. What's up, Sean Tech? Thanks for all the informational videos. Hey, no problem, man. Appreciate you watching here. Let me see here. I can't wave for that one. I can wave to Israel and Marcani 76. How's it going, guys? Fabio, Lether Charity. What are the things that will hold me back? If you're you, pretty much you. Anything that's slowing you down pretty much comes down to you. You are not finding the right problem, you're not spending enough time, or you're not being honest enough with yourself to see where the bottlenecks are so that you're blind to them. I would say anything slowing anyone down is almost entirely them. There are things. Can you add a well, sorry, I won't get to that. I'm getting to be a better streamer to where I'm focusing on the thing at hand. But yeah, the things that'll slow you down is literally just what you yourself are working on and how you approach it, because you're the bottleneck. If you're the main decision maker, you are the bottleneck of everything there. Let's see here. You had said a long time ago about it is very difficult to do a print farm versus a hobbyist. I started as a hobbyist and now have 9 printers and moving into selling my prints. What will hold me back? So the reason print farms are so difficult is because you're building a factory with 1,000 points of failure as compared to most other manufacturing systems. Printers just break down. So it's very difficult that way. Print farms are also very difficult from a business model because you generally tend to make anything. And while 3D printers can make anything, you shouldn't make everything. And when someone starts up a print farm, especially as a hobbyist, they're like, oh, hey, I'm going to go ahead and make some cool stuff, and everybody's going to wander in my door, and every job I'm going to take. And you create an unscalable situation that's just miserable. I know, because I did it. So print farms are just a really bad business model unless you have a specific product that you're making with them. So I would say find a product as soon as you possibly can. Services with print farms are really miserable, and everybody and their grandma has one. So they become kind of a local thing. Question, can you add dark mode option for Portals profiles, even dark gray rather than white? You can set up your Portals store with whatever templates you want. You can change your store style to be white or the traditional Portals dark mode. You have control of that. And then the Portals user interface, if you're uploading files, is pretty much entirely dark mode. Your educational stuff is really great. Not really actively printing, but designing. Oh, that's fair, Lumbra. Oh, Limbra, you were over here. I saw you go by over on the Instagram. Now you're on the YouTube. Hey, look at that. I have been bottling myself for the past year, but I have yet to sell my Prince model because it is very happy with the quality of my figurines. I've never been happy with the quality of my figurines, since I keep comparing them to readily available figurines. Get them published as soon as you can. Publish as soon as you can. Otherwise, you never will. If you're stopping because of quality, you've waited too long to publish. You need to publish right now. Whatever you have, get it out there online. I have a niche for tool organizers and mods. Okay, 3D Logic prints, good. If you've got that niche, focus in on that. Expand it as much as you can. All right. Question. I think you said the seam is usually in the back of the prints. What happened if I send my STL at a 45 degree to maximize the 220 mil? Where will it be the seam? At the back edge, whichever corner is furthest to the back. So right now, Christian, our slicer is pretty darn intelligent. So it will try to hide the seam if it's possible. But if the item is like symmetrical or like diagonal there, it'll put the seam back on the corner. Because if you upload a square thing in normal orientation and you have a seam at the rear, it'll create a seam down the middle face of the square, which isn't good. But the system will automatically put that seam over on a corner or in a hidden spot so that it doesn't create an issue. So don't worry about it. The seam will not be an issue for you, Christian. You'll be in good shape. I ordered a prototype that uses both an LED puck and a wireless charger. One is a USB-A and the other is C. Any advice on how to make a better consumer experience to plug both? I ordered a prototype that has both an LED puck and a wireless charger. Is the LED puck USB-A or is the wireless puck USB? Which is which? And I assume both of those pieces came from us. The LED puck I could see being USB-C. We don't have a lot of control of those things because a lot of them are things that are submitted to us by other folks. And we just run with them as they are. That is irritating. They should be both USB-C. I'm surprised that a USB-A went through though. The bottleneck we hit is when we are making larger parts and the two printers we have are in use when an emergency comes up and a small part is needed. We try to stock up, but someone always forgets. Oh yeah, Rip, you should surely sign up for Portals. Like, here's the thing. Like, Portals is a really great resource for spare parts. Because if you have a part that regularly kind of like runs out, what you can do is you can create a portal for that spare part. You get a link for it, you turn that into a QR code. That QR code you then paste next to the part whenever it breaks. So you put it above the wall on the machine that has that spare part. And then when it breaks, somebody can just scan it and they can order another one right there. And then if you're really doing a lean manufacturing system, you can have one part in inventory, one part that's ordered when it breaks, and then you pull the one from inventory, replace it, and then there's another one in transit to you. So that's a really good way of doing it, especially if you have like a smaller operation without a lot of spare 3D printers. Portals can be a great way to have a warehouse where the shelves make the product so that they just show up when you need them. And then you place those QR codes on all the spare parts so that everybody knows where it is, where the file is, and they know the part will show up and be reliable. So it's a great way to like just have a Kanban system for just-in-time manufacturing. Yeah. Question, is PLA a bad filament for EDC utility knives? Maker 209. I don't know why. I don't know why it would be. I think it's fine. How would you go about modeling threads that are proprietary? You would design some proprietary threads and then model them. I'm no expert, but I would say that's how you would do it. James Stucker, if you're trying to like invent new threads, I don't know, create whatever thread that you think would work. If you're trying to make them proprietary, I don't know why you would do that. Maybe you're trying to keep other people from attaching items to your part. I could see that being an option, but you can make them left-handed. That's an easy way. Just make them left-handed, and then most people won't have something that will work. That's a simple solution to it. Can your lives be searched somehow? Actually, a ton of good info, but don't have time to listen to all of them. All the lives are over in the lives tab on YouTube. So they're all there, but we don't like retitle them after the stream, so they just kind of are. But we cover a lot of this stuff. A lot of them are clipped and cut, and chunks of them will be posted on the shorts too. So they'll be findable by like individual topics very often over there. I need to reverse engineer them. James Stucker. Oh, you gotta reverse engineer them, huh? I don't have a good solution for you. I still don't really like the 3D scanners as they exist right now, so a lot of them aren't very good, but we run through whatever we can. Okay. Hey, what's up, Pedrito? Let's see. When and then you wouldn't use MP3. Wait a second. Oh, that's a great thing. Thanks, man. If you write a time code such as 1051 in the comments, it automatically creates a bookmark for that print point in the video. But for searching for the audio, you would have to download it. Yeah. Are there options to utilize heat from the printer's print farm? What is your approach? The heat from the printers is used to make the print. Like, the print farm doesn't output an exceptional amount of heat. Really inefficient systems will do that, but like the heat of the farm isn't like some furnace to where the heat is terribly useful because there's just not enough of it. Printers and our operation runs efficiently enough that there's not a lot of waste heat that's not used for heating the building or anything else there. So it's generally not a big issue. Okay, what else have we got? Trained co-host. What else do we have? Any other questions from folks? Because the Insta disappeared? The Insta's still rolling. I haven't done anything to it. Ooh, I'm going to hit the effects button now, though. I want to see what I can do with it. Can I add in... What does this do? Oh, no, it's going to change my face. Don't change my face. Oh, gross. That's awful. Do banana. Just a banana. And no one will know what's going on. What is this? Coffee. Why do I want to change my face that much? Like, I don't even know what the point of that is. And also, by the way, if you tap an icon, it should use it. And then if you double tap it, it should then deselect it. Here's the thing. People may not like TikTok, and I appreciate not liking TikTok. I get that. But TikTok has a really good user interface for so much of what they do. All right, let's see here. Toolcraft, are you still there? I'm sorry, man. I didn't see it before. If you're still there, I apologize. Whoa, that lot of things flying by. If I would decide to sign up for portals and sell some prints, how do you handle the GDPR when shipping to Europe? That's on us. If you're selling something on portals, all the taxes and transits and tariffs and stuff are totally on us to get achieved. If you're on portals. If you're using teleport for your existing Etsy store, that stuff still comes on to you because you're the store then and we're just the manufacturer. Okay. If you were starting from scratch today, it was your choice, Etsy or Shopify or other. What would be your choice? TikTok Shop? I would do TikTok Shop. Etsy is good though. The way to get sold, like, if I was starting again from scratch and had the choice of platforms, Etsy is still very good because Etsy will give your product a shot pretty much universally because there's not enough items over there for the amount of demand that they have. So if you can sell an item organically on Etsy, you know it's good because people are over there looking for it. But if you're looking to like scale up, TikTok Shop is probably one of the better options because you get to make content and directly advertise your thing. And then you can boost that content. And there's a lot of tools in there to get your items sold, which don't exist in other areas. So if I was starting again from scratch, I'd do an Etsy store. And you create 100 products, you find the ones that work, and then you get rid of 80 of them. and then you move on from there, and you keep on grinding and creating new versions. So that's what I would do if I was starting up a 3D printing business from scratch. Oh, GDPR, the data security laws regarding people's personal information. Oh, that's all part of the website and that kind of thing. Sorry, I misread it thinking it was like VAT tax and that kind of stuff. But yeah, all of that personal information is in there. When shipping a part to people, the information has to be transferred, but it's not like we retain it or market against it and that kind of stuff for shipping information, so that we're still in compliance with those laws. And the website, Portals, the website itself, is totally compliant within that information retention also. So yeah, it's not an issue. Okay, what else? Hey, that like landed perfect. I'm not even sponsored, but I just like it. Okay, what is this? I've got. Wow. Yeah, TikTok's weird. What's up, Fem and Cash? Right. Let's see. Print Farm, Portals. Right now, Portals and Teleport are still shipping stuff in under 2 days. A lot of stuff is going out almost next day. Like, we're stupid speedy on most orders over there right now. There are a few cases where it's a large part, or if it's a first time through part, that it may take longer. But, yeah, we keep on fighting through them all. But, yeah, the estimated shipping time on Portals right now is always under 3 days. Like, it's super fast. We need to do a new Slant 3D Sucks video and do like what the new goals are. Because we gotta ship faster. We gotta decrease the cost of shipping for people. We need to get more print farms around. And then we need, of course, more colors and materials, because everybody always wants more colors and materials. But yeah, we just released the Teleport facelift last week. And that seems to be working well for people. It's let people really engage and scale up quite a bit. What would be the most promising entrance to sell prints? If you want to be hands-on, like, what would be the most promising entrance to sell 3D prints? If you want to be hands-on, you probably should start with Etsy, because that's just fairly low effort, but you have to do customer support, you're running your store, you set the branding, all the rest of that kind of stuff. If you want to just get started, and you want to create a TikTok video and just share a post to a thing, but you don't want to have to deal with setting up a Shopify or running a print farm, then you should probably use Portals. Portals lets you upload a file and you're selling the prints in 30 seconds. Like, literally, that's how fast it is. I've got a phone right here. But Portals lets you set something up super fast. So if you want to be in control, start off with Etsy. If you want to just get rolling, just upload a file to Portals and now you're selling prints. Those are the easiest way to do it. Actually, if I go over here, let's just show everybody a thing here. So if you're here and you go into Teleport, and then you sign in, blah, 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 all the things, signing in. You get logged into here, and then you go to Portals, right here over on the left, the purple circle. Okay, if I want to sell something right now, I can go ahead and say plus. I just signed in for the first time. I'm going to upload a new file. Here's my new file. I'm going to say awesome product right here. Sell now. It good. Your description. I would upload some photos if I have any. I would pick the color that I wanted to be printed in. And then I would say, okay, it's going to cost $10 to make because it's a great big old part. I'm going to sell it for $15. Open portal. It is for sale. Great. You just started selling. That's how fast it was. That is literally how much effort it takes. I should probably show everybody that. There it is. The portal just got created, and there's your product. You can copy this link, paste it all over the place, share it to people, whatever you want to do. And whenever somebody opens up this link, you will see this. And they're like, oh, great. And you would have uploaded photos so that it actually looks good rather than being like the render of the STL. But now it's for sale, and anybody can buy now and buy it. And it's great. That's all you got to do. So if you're wanting to just start selling, Portals is a way to just start selling. It's a really good way to just get rolling. My printer at home has an activated carbon and HEPA filter since it stays in my room where I sleep. I would recommend it since fumes aren't really healthy. Ba-bing bong. the emissions from printers are less than the emissions from a Febreze. If you have ever Febrezed a room and then walked into it, you have inhaled more toxic chemicals than what is emitted from a 3D printer. We did a podcast a few months ago with an engineer who was messing with this. And he was like, I had a particulate filter in the room, and when the printer was running, that particulate filter never saw anything. And then my wife would use hairspray, and immediately it would trigger. I was like, yeah, because the emissions from everything else is worse than the emissions from a printer. Would you make your own filament if you had infinite plastic? Well, for mold, we do already make our filament. So Slant 3D, we operate a couple of internal extrusion lines, big ones, that extrude filament. And enough of it that we actually sell filament over at tangledfilament.com. That's our filament brand. So you can buy white and gray, or black and gray PLA filament at $10 a kilogram. And it's made in the USA, and it's available over there. But that is a thing that we run on the side that helps keep our lines running more efficiently, because if we can just run them longer and tighter, it's just better. Excuse me. All right. What else? I accidentally got a ton of 2.85 millimeter PLA in PETG. Would you be interested in possibly trading it for 1.75? Clark, no. I have no interest in 2.85. 2.85 is a remnant of a bygone era. 1.75 is the standard, and there's Lulzbot and Ultimaker that I think still use 2.85, and there's reasons to use it. Like for like TPU, it's good because you get more control of it and you don't have flexibility problems as much. But you have less control of the filament because the number of motor steps for the amount of filament moved, you don't get as much granular control as you do with 1.75. So it's gone. It's not going to work because if everything is going towards better quality, 1.75 creates better quality, and we'll have to figure out how to deal with TPU or build a custom machine for it. I'm no chemist or health expert, but there is a pungent smell from burnt PLA. Sure, burnt PLA, but not printed PLA. Yeah, burnt PLA is burning plastic. Nothing burning is good for you. Burning paper is not good for you. But printers don't burn the plastic. They melt the plastic. If you are smelling burning, you have a problem with your printer, or you need to adjust your print settings. Because thermoplastics are not meant to emit. The only one that like definitively has toxic outgassing is ABS. Almost all the other filaments are fine. And you're dealing with ultrafine particles, but you get more of those from a Febreze or from dust mites in the air than from what a 3D printer puts off. So it's kind of a nothing burger. It's something people want to get scared of, but isn't really a thing. It's kind of like the idea of like there's lead in nozzles. No, there's not. There's no significant amount of lead in nozzles. And even if the nozzle was made of lead, it does not create any sort of a health risk. If you swallowed a lead nozzle, it doesn't create a significant health risk. It's just, yeah, it's an overblown, like, urban legend. Miss every shot you don't take. That's fair, Clark. Yeah. For each color I want to sell of an item on portals, do I currently have to make a new listing for each color versus the consumer picking the color they want? You get one option for colors on any given portals listing. You can batch them all up so people can select from the different colors if they want to, but you radically decrease your conversions if you have a lot of color options. So like the stat is, if you've got a bar chart here and you have a number of sales, there will be this many sales of the first and primary color of items with a single color, and then you have this many sales of items that have multiple colors. Like there's a 70% drop. So putting multiple colors on a listing is a bad decision because it just decreases your chances of sales. It's called decision fatigue. You're making the customers do a lot of work and thinking, and they end up saying, nah, I don't want to do that, and they wander off rather than buying in that moment. Okay. Hey, alrighty. What else we got? Pre... Is that drop even with 2 colors? Let's see here. 3D, you guys got to give more context in your comments because I get way too many messages. Is that drop even with 2 colors? I don't know what that means, 3D Logic Prince. I'm sorry. You got to give me more context. Are FDM prints food safe? Ignoring where the layer lines were bacteria. Yeah, FDM can be perfectly food safe. That's another myth. Wash it with water. They're like, oh, bacteria and stuff crawled into the lines of the 3D printed part. You know what else crawls into the lines of the 3D printed part? Soapy water. Crawls in better, actually, because soap cuts the surface tension of the water. And bacteria only has the surface tension of water. So soapy water goes deeper than whatever slime you put it into. My thing is don't try to store a steak with a 3D printed part with a bunch of blood on it. That's not a good idea. But if you're baking or cooking or want to do some teaspoons or cookie cutters or a bowl, a cereal bowl that you're going to rinse out afterwards, it's not a big deal. 3D prints are fine. They're plastic. And you know what else has layer lines in it? Wood. Have you ever seen a wooden cutting board? Have you ever seen a plastic cutting board with a bunch of knife scores through it? Those are lines in it that can hold bacteria. Wash your stuff. If you're not a college kid that's letting mold grow on your dishes in a sink for 3 months, then the prints are probably fine. And you can run them through a dishwasher and all the other stuff, and they'll be fine. It's totally okay. And as far as food safe is a certification given out by the FDA to items that are like on the edge. So you can get your item qualified as food safe, and a lot of 3D printed items have. And generically, the materials that are used in 3D prints can be food safe. So it's fine. Enchant Slant will offer larger nozzles with its 0.6. Why do you need them? Mostly useful studio. Like, if you're printing parts, you want the highest resolution you can generally. The lower nozzle heights are generally to make stuff cheaper or to print faster, but we're the cheapest print service out there. Like, the cost of printing with teleport is less than printing it yourself in most cases. Like, literally, let's go ahead and do this. 3D print price calculator. Whoops. 3D. There we go. Now we got the view here. So, like, if you're the average operator, and let's grab this file. We'll use this claw again. If you're printing it yourself, most people just look at the material, just the PLA. Oh, do sales drop with multiple color options with anything over one option? Yes, they do. You have one option, that's a core option. The vast majority of sales come from that core option. If you offer multiple options, then your sales start to decline relative to competitive options with that. So most people do not, when thinking of cost, they think of just the material cost. And they're like, I can make this for $2 worth of material. But then they don't think about support removal. They don't think about printer depreciation. They don't think about rent. And they're just like, oh, well, I've got printers in my garage. And I'm like, those printers are taking up space in your garage. You pay rent on that garage. It's part of your home. So you are paying for that too. And not to mention the fact that, like, if you don't pay yourself, then if you only include labor as the labor you put into it, and you don't separate that from yourself, that means you can never hire anyone. Because if you only cost labor and then you hire somebody, you're paying the labor, but now you're not paying yourself anything. So it's really important to have owner time in there. And once you go through all that stuff, doing it at home creates so much overhead that it's just not cost effective to do it. And teleport ends up being cheaper because you get the rent paid for, you get the fulfillment, and you get 1,000 machines that you otherwise wouldn't be able to get a hold of. So there's just a tremendous amount of value to having teleport print it. So make sure when you're costing stuff out that you're thinking about that, because there's other costs other than the material. There's the machine wearing out, paying yourself, all these things. I think that box is too weird. I guess this was an 8-inch tall model, but it can fit in that smaller box. Yeah, so packaging doesn't need to be that high. But anyway, but yeah, the cost is mainly from just operations. Is PLA considered food safe? Probably not a good idea for baking. No. Yeah, don't use it for baking. I do not recommend 3D prints for baking in general, mainly because they just don't release. Here, the layer lines are bad because they can't actually, like if you bake some muffins, the muffins are going to get engorged and bonded with the plastic, even if the plastic could take the temperatures of the oven. That's where the texture is kind of a problem. But if you're dishing stuff up or moving flour around, it's fine. If it's rinsable afterwards easily, and yeah, you're not baking the dough into it, you're probably fine. Oh yeah, larger nozzle sizes absolutely save time in the production. But when we've always thought about it, we're like, okay, if we need parts to go out faster, you get more machines. So if the part can be, if there's not an engineering reason for like the 0.6 or 0.8, and it's just to print faster, we focus on 0.4 because we know ultimately everyone will get to 0.4. And when you have 1,000 machines, you've got some spares. So even though it prints 30% faster with a 0.6 nozzle, add 30% more machines, and you can generally deal with it. So it's generally not that big of an issue. Our main print farm here in Boise is spec'd out for 3,000 machines. So we get stuff delivered. We can knock stuff out pretty darn fast. So we try to stay in the 0.4 nozzle because that variation, the differences of machines, creates more cost than simply having more machines that are identical. I have a design and I can only print with PLA at home for testing. Would you do test prints if it works with ABS and such? If I want to sell it. 777. Okay. Yeah, if you go to the Slant 3D main site, we have a prototyping form and the production quoting form where you can upload a file and say ASA. You can get it in ASA, and we'll print it off and ship it to you. That's totally fine. The leg stopped. Thank goodness. I hope that's holding. Yeah, we don't have a buffering anymore. I wonder why YouTube's so terrible today. Okay. What else have people got? Instagram, you guys have anything? Making. Okay. Whoops. Man, that's terrible. How about you guys? Scott Hansen, what's up, man? I was talking to you this morning. I sent you a message this morning. Did I send you a message this morning? You sent me a message this morning. I don't know. I was on TikTok this morning. And I sent you a message. How's it going, man? All right. Who else? What else have we got, folks? Questions about teleport, portals, filament, running a big old print farm. Let's see here. How much time have we got? We got time. We got plenty of time. This goes for an hour. We got about 20 minutes out there. Best printer for a beginner. I don't have one, man. I'm sorry, Harsh. I don't endorse printers. No, Travis, I see. Oh, Scott Hansen. Yeah, Travis and I have worked together a bunch. He did a video a week or two ago. It's a really good video. I recommend watching it. Travis, for everybody else, Travis at Shop Nation does really good 3D printing content occasionally. But he did a video last week about injection molding versus 3D printing. And we were part of the case study because he had used us to make some couplers. And he reached out to us and said, hey, I need a few thousand of these a month. And we were like, okay, sure. Are you going to need more? And he's like, no, I think I'm going to molding. And I was like, okay, well, if you're going to molding, then it's not worth redesigning. But when he did that video, I was like, oh, hey, Travis, can we do a follow-up arguing with you? And he was like, yeah, sure, Gabe, I don't care. And I was like, am I allowed to mess with the designs and like share details of the quoting and that kind of thing? And he was like, yeah, that would be sick. So we're working on a video right now where we redesign Travis's parts so they could be more mass producible with printing, because he's one of the few ones who has gone from 3D printing to molding and really understands both worlds. And quite frankly, I think Travis made a mistake going to molding. I totally understand all the reasons he did it, but it could have gotten it done with printing just fine. We needed to change the design though. And it was our bad. I should have been more engaged with Travis, but I knew that he was kind of already on the road to molding. So we didn't chase it down very much. But we're doing a video with him to where we're breaking down how to mass produce those parts at the same cost as molding with printing. He's got better. Yes. Oh yeah. Travis is fantastic, and the expansion that he's doing over there with Shop Nation around the tools is really sick. Scott, I was able to take a look at your TikTok the other day, but like, what's your genre of product? What's like your main one? And how do you get them produced? Do you run a print farm, or are you doing other stuff? What's his channel? 3D Logic's Travis's channel is called Shop Nation. Yeah, I recommend subscribing over there. It's really good. Let's see. Do multi-packs like 2, 3, or 5 items in a pack affect sales? Generally positively, but not negatively. It depends. Here's the thing. When you're creating a pack, you're creating a product. So create a product that is useful to people. Do they need 5 of them? Do they need 3 of them? When you start creating choices on a listing, that's generally bad. So more color choices, more option choices. Let them pick the thing and then say they want 2 if they want them. Here's the way to do it. Go to Amazon, see how they do listings, and copy that. You will notice that Amazon generally doesn't have, except for like clothes, but even with clothes, if you pick a shirt and you have like the red one, the black one, and the blue one, if you click on one of those, it takes you to a separate listing for that white one where it changes all the photos and everything. It's not really like a color selector. It is almost like a separate listing. It's a weird sort of hybrid. I've been doing 3D printing for 6 years, like cosplay stuff on the side. Ah, got it. Scott, like helmets and that kind of thing? Is that the genre, or do you do like the gauntlets and armor, just like full things? We've been messing with how to do cosplay well. We're going to be releasing larger format machines for some people on cosplay, but cosplay's rough right now. Ever since Marvel sort of fell off, cosplay sort of started to fall off. I see Tangled has a subscription. Is there a minimum order quantity? No. The subscription is $9 a month or $7 a month if you do an annual. Or you can not have the subscription and you pay $10 for shipping. That's how it works. The subscription is a crazy good deal. And you can buy one or you can buy a pallet. And a lot of people buy pallets. All these extra costs low-key deters me from publishing my models since my head is telling me the Chinese company can do it for cheaper. And what if a customer asks, why would I pay so much for that stuff? Bing bong. I don't know what cost you're talking about. The customer should only have to pay the price of the item, and so long as it's fair and reasonable in the context of what the things are, it's fine. The cost of making the item has nothing to do with the pricing. Like, this is a very common misconception, a really common misconception. The cost of making an item has nothing to do with the pricing. If you are an amateur, you can take your cost to manufacture something and triple it, and that is the price that you should charge. But that's the amateur way of doing it. A professional knows what the item is worth and then charges what it's worth. So the way of thinking about this is like, okay, I need $10 to eat, so I'm going to charge $30 so I know I can eat every day. Or you can be a professional and you can say, okay, I need $10 to eat, but I'm the only person in the world who knows how to make YouTube videos like this, so I'm going to charge $1,000 per hour because that's how much it's worth to somebody. That's how you do pricing as a professional versus an amateur. And 3D printing people very often make this mistake that they think the manufacturing cost has anything at all to do with what the final pricing should be. It doesn't. I'm from Israel. I'm pretty young. I want to start a 3D printing business with my A1 Mini, no AMS. I searched Etsy and no one from Israel had good sales. Any tips? Frowlbox. What's up, man? Congratulations. You should do it. Okay, so you're in Israel. So you're trying to sell prints inside of Israel. Quite frankly, Israel doesn't have as much consumer demand as some other countries. So like Etsy stores based in the United States get a lot more sales because US people buy a lot more stuff than Israeli people probably do. Here's a thing that you can do though, that's a hack and a shortcut. You can sell to the US, but you don't want to pay tariffs. You don't want to ship across an ocean because that's too expensive. What you can do is you can set up an Etsy store, create US only listings inside of it that only ship to the US, and then you connect those up to Teleport. And then when you get an order from one of those, Teleport, which is a US print farm, will print and ship those items to your US customers. So you don't have tariffs, you don't have international shipping, but you get to sell to one of the biggest markets in the world. And now your Etsy store is a US Etsy store. And now you can get way bigger, way faster than if you're just selling in your local area around Israel. So that is what I would do if I was in your position, because you get access to the US market, you don't have international shipping, and you can scale up but still build your store from Israel. That's the way to do it. I didn't think about the worth part. That's a good lesson. Thank you. Oh, yeah. The Bing Bong. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Everybody gets pricing wrong all the time. Also, does Portal ship to Singapore? If I want to sell my figurines, probably multicolored printers would be needed. Teleport does ship to Singapore. You need to get on the enterprise tier to get to multicolor. But yeah, that can be done. Though the figures, a lot of the value in the figures that we've seen from people who have done it is in people wanting to paint them. So a lot of people who do figures literally just print them in gray, and then people can print them. Bye, Matt. I'm a complete noob to 3D printing. This is amazingly useful. How often do you do these streams? Bye, Matt. We've only started doing the streams on Instagram here the last couple of days. We try to do them every day. We're trying to get a stream done every single day. And I think we're going to continue to do that as much as we can and run from there. So yeah, should be up at noon Mountain Standard Time most days, and then we may move times around. But yeah, subscribe and follow us, and you'll get notifications. There's a market there with tools and 3D printing, wire pullers and helpers if you're pulling wire. Oh, Scott. Is that part of a longer conversation? Helmets. I'm an electrician by trade, thinking about making stuff for that. Ah, gotcha. Organizers for electricians and that kind of thing is a great idea. And Scott, like for you, I know you've got a couple of printers, so you probably want to run it, but you also probably want to go on vacation once in a while. So you may look at like setting up portals, because then you can just knock out a bunch of test items and see which ones kind of sell. And you can share them around, and they're always available. Oh, sweet, the Bing Bong. Yeah, glad painting was a useful idea to you. I get it. So I don't use my printer, I guess. Maybe only for photos of products. Good idea. Yeah, for Owlbox, you'd use your printer for... if you're using Teleport to sell items into another country, your printer at home is focused on prototyping and photography. So you're testing out new models, you're getting photos of them all, and you're knocking them out and developing, improving the designs so that they're ready to be uploaded, and then they can be sold and produced through Teleport. One of the other like big advantages with Teleport, a really big advantage of Teleport that people don't really always recognize, is the ability to let you go on vacation. If you're running an Etsy store or any other sort of 3D printing business, when you get an order, you have to print and ship that order right then. Otherwise, you can lose the order or the customer gets mad or whatever. Having Teleport takes that off of you, so you can actually go on a vacation with the kids or stop refilling printers every single day, and the orders will still be fulfilled because that's our job. We got to take care of it all. So just the ability to get like access to time back is something that people just don't recognize and realize with the value of Teleport, that you just get so much more flexibility and more stress relief because you can actually walk away, but the business will keep on operating and orders will still be delivered. That's a huge unlock of Teleport. If I want to sell a 3-part item, outer, inner container, thick bar, for knocking through coffee out of portafilters, and each part has a different color, also premium tier? Oh no, Lumbra, you can do that inside of Teleport. Inside the premium tier, which is the default subscription that everybody needs if you're running through connecting up to an Etsy store. You can absolutely match up 3 different files with 3 different colors, all to that one single item. And then whenever that item is ordered, all 3 parts are printed and shipped. Super easy. On the free subscription, I can get everything for free. Frowlbox, if you're on the free subscription, you get portals for free. So you can have access to the portals marketplace and you can sell through there. If you're setting up an Etsy store, which you might want to, you'll need to get the premium subscription. It only costs $19 a month. So if you're selling 100 parts, that's 25 cents for each part to get those out the door. So it's really easy to get paid for, or a couple cups of coffee and that kind of stuff. So the premium tier is really, really affordable, given the fact that you get access to 1,000 3D printers and a bunch of people working for you to fulfill orders 24/7 throughout the year. Do not put your Etsy on vacation. You back down the line. Oh, yes. Like, do not put your store on vacation. If you have an Etsy store and you're getting overwhelmed with stuff, it is a wild mistake to put your store on vacation. Because yes, you fall down search rankings. Etsy's like, oh, you're not fulfilling orders? Great, we're going to stop sending people your way. And that traffic doesn't come back. You have to warm it back up again afterwards. So having teleport around to just keep fulfilling orders while you go on vacation and you don't have to shut your shop down lets you not only get the sales that you would have missed, but keep your sales momentum rolling so you have more sales overall even when you come back. So teleport to keep your store running even when you're leaving or you want to take a break is a huge unlock for you. I put mine on vacation for maternity leave, came back and it was fine. Could be my niche though. Oh, Cassie, I'll bet you could have been bigger if you hadn't done that. I get putting it on vacation for maternity leave because you don't want to like answer messages and that kind of stuff during that time. But you really want to avoid turning stuff off, especially if you're really dependent on organic sales. If you're doing ads, it's less of an issue, but yeah, avoid it when you can. All right, let's see here. Can your slant spools be updated to work with extension cords? I have no idea, dude. We don't redesign the slant spools anymore. That's a project from like 7 years ago. We did one of the first master spools that was a reusable filament spool. And yeah, we're not currently doing it. Cheers from Italy. Valeria Momo. Mattia 3D. What's up? Thanks, Skyron. Thanks for watching, guys. Yeah. Good to see y'all here. Oh, whoa, you're over here too. Valeria is on TikTok and on Instagram. How's it going, man? Let's see here. Can I do stuff? I can't wave or acknowledge you other than saying hi. What's up, man? Can I configure teleport such that I fulfill orders from my region myself and worldwide shipping from teleport? Yes. The answer is yes. You can absolutely have teleport fulfill orders in the US region only, and then you fulfill orders inside of Europe. There's a couple of ways of doing this. You can just set up geo-fenced items inside of your Etsy store to where only US customers can see them, so only they order them, and you match those up to teleport. The other option is you can just filter and manually push orders to teleport inside itself to where you flip off automatic mode inside of teleport, and then each day you can run through and say like, send that to teleport, send that to teleport, send that to teleport, if you like just want to selectively send a few of them to us. So there's a few ways to regionally geofence teleport so it only ships to the people that you want it to ship to. That's pretty easy. Yeah, it's a pretty easy thing to set up. Oh, it was before teleport was a thing. Okay, that's fair. Is there documentation that has third-party part dimensions or CAD models of third-party parts? Yes. So there is documentation of all the third-party parts. You can go, obviously, a lot of them are pretty cut and dried. The M3x5 screw is an M3 screw that's 5 millimeters long. But if you want like the wireless charging pucks and that kind of stuff, if you go to the Slant Pod website, you can get dimensions for them. You can also download 3D models that are negatives. You can also go to STL Bash, and that will have the negatives that you can just drop in and use. So for anybody on the YouTube stream, if you go to STL Bash, STL Bash, Slant Tools right here. If you go ahead, run into here, and say, I'm going to grab one of these default models. So we'll grab a square organizer. There we go. Page finally loaded. Square organizer. If you want to know how big the wireless charger is, we have a negative of the wireless charger right here that is the correct size and also has a spout and spool for it to you. So you can take this, move this into whatever model you're putting it into, and then you just go ahead and can do your Boolean subtraction right here. And then you can cut out a wireless phone charger out of whatever your model happens to be. So you can convert a bunch of frogs into wireless chargers and all this other stuff. So you can have all kinds of fun with it. So yeah, there's those tools. And then we try to keep as many of these negatives in here. So like here's a negative for the suction cup. Wait, let me have that. Wait, there we go. suction cup, and then you have the wireless charger itself on the back of a phone, so you can crop off a flat area on it. Here is a toothpaste tube thing for if you want to mount something on the top of a toothpaste tube and have it like puke toothpaste. This is a sprinkler negative. Like, there's a bunch of them. And then, of course, again, every one of these, you can just select the model itself, just like this. Let me have that. Let me have it. There we go. And then, yeah, do a Boolean subtract, and you immediately create that part that you were working with. So it's pretty darn useful. Okay. What else have we got? So outer, inner container, we got those things covered. Yeah, cool. We got everybody. What else? Other messages coming in. Scott, I haven't been ignoring you down here, have I? Just multiple different places to be all the time. So I'm working on it. There's so many chats going on. I feel like one of them spam farms. Alrighty, guys. We have about 3 or 4 minutes left here. Any final questions you want to get in here that I can get covered before I got to go back to work? It's so interesting to watch how these different ones interact and move. Like, I'm just fascinated. What's up, Gianni Diliala? Yeah. Any final questions? Help with teleport? That kind of stuff? Can I? Instagram people, am I still streaming normally? Actually, I'm going to have to figure out if I can live stream 2 streams from a single phone. I'll bet I can't, but it's worth trying. If you've been at work, Cassie, what are you doing watching a live stream? The meaning of life, 42. Everybody knows that. Just want to say thanks for the info. Oh, thanks, man. Dibblemont? I'm glad they've been useful. Yeah, the design videos are something folks really like for. Trying to build a mechanical clock and need a 1 meter threaded M6 rod for the pendulum. Where can I find parts like that? Amazon. Son of Ted. If you need, if you need other parts in Teleport for like that product, you can reach out to us and we'll add them in to third-party parts. We're generally pretty open to that. That's background noise for the server issue I'm doing. Okay, that's fair. I won't tweet to Elon right now and say like, hey, you got people who are watching my stream instead of being busy. We will, let's see, what else we got? Tomorrow we'll probably try a live stream from top down, and I'm going to try to do an iPad so we can do like a designer-ish live stream, and we'll see how that goes. Topic for tomorrow, what should be the topic for tomorrow's live stream? Tomorrow, we talked about international, we've talked about teleport. I think tomorrow we'll go through sales tax. That'll get people going. Lots of non-business folks trying to be in business without a lot of understanding in that regard. Yeah, Mitch, we're working on trying to help folks get educated there. The 3D printing world has a lot of engineers with a lot of ideas, and everybody's really bad at pricing. So we're trying to get the word out about how to do that. When do you think your other print farm will come online? As soon as we possibly can. Working on it. But the main mega farm spec'd out for 3,000 machines. We're good. We can get the parts out the door still. And we're staying up with what we need to. So yeah, connecting up to Teleport is like getting 1,000 machines on tap for your Etsy store. That way, if you ever have an overflow or have a problem, you can immediately just get 1,000 machines to help you grow your business. That's what it's useful for. That one of them is Android. The other one is an iPhone. I guess we have TikTok on iPhone and this one on Android. I suppose, yeah, I can try it tomorrow. I need somebody on the Instagram to tell me if it's still going, because I can't tell if when I suppress it, like the stream just pauses and goes black, or if it has other stuff. But, okay, guys, good to see you all later. Have a good one. Thanks so much all for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow. See ya. And we'll get out of here, and get out of here, and then YouTube, you guys are going to be last. You're going to be last. But we're going to go go crazy.